May I begin by recognizing and saluting the President of the Arab Parliament, His Excellency Right Honorable bin Abdulrahman al-Somi. I salute the Honorable Speaker, who was also the host speaker, the Right Honorable Dr. Hanafi Ali El Gebali, the Speaker of the Egyptian House of Representatives, distinguished Honorable Speakers of National Arab Assemblies and Chairpersons of Shura Councils, esteemed members of the Arab Parliament, Secretary General of the Arab Parliament, Mr. Kamel Mohammed Farid Sharawi, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends. May I start by expressing heartfelt condolences on behalf of the Pan-African Parliament on the devastating earthquake in Turkey and Syria, whose death toll we understand is surpassed 23,000, and may the souls rest in peace. I therefore call on the Arab world and Africa to come together now more than ever before to mobilize humanitarian support for Turkey and Syria during this difficult time in order to bring relief to the families affected by the devastating earthquake. May I thank the Speaker of the Arab Parliament, His Excellency Honorable bin Abdulrahman al-Somi, for extending an invitation to the Pan-African Parliament to participate in such an important event, the 5th Conference of Speakers of National Arab Assemblies and Chairpersons of the Shura Councils under the auspices of the Arab Parliament. This invitation to Pan-African Parliament created a platform for us to engage as Africa and the Arab world and ensure collaboration to contribute to re-establish strong relations between Africa and the Arab institutions, in this case the Pan-African Parliament and the Arab Parliament and the respective member states. And also let me appreciate the timing of this invitation, which comes soon after a similar invitation from the Parliamentary Union of Islamic countries. This is a sign of growing recognition by the Arab world of the importance of unity with Africa through the Pan-African Parliament, and that it's necessary to work together with the African continent in resolving the common challenges facing the Arab and African people, whose destinies are inextricably intertwined, as has been demonstrated. So we need to work together, have a common vision in solidarity and development, which is strengthened by economic, social, and political development between the two. You will recall that at least half of the Arab population is also found in Africa, and that about 1/3 of the population of the African continent, and with 68% of Arabs living in the African continent, are part of Africa. And 71% of the geographical area of the Arab world, I repeat, 71% of the geographical area of the Arab world is situated in the African continent. So it is obvious that we work together, we are one. And for various reasons, which I did not repeat here, where we have both suffered foreign imperialist invasion and colonization and communism. We know how, it has been just said here, that the issue of religion, the issue of Islam, which is under attack, which we want to stand together as a force, the dual force of Africa and the Arab world. That dual force should now be felt across the world. And we stand together in condemning those that have been acting against such a good religion. When some people preach about human rights and freedom of religion is one of the critical human rights. So let's stand together on these issues. The forces outside Africa, outside the Arab world, are determined to subvert any effort by ourselves to go to the front stage or leaders in terms of economies or politics or culture and everything. They want to destroy our culture and our being. Recently, Egypt was under attack by the European Parliament because Egypt refused to allow gay and lesbians to go to Sharm-el-Sheikh and demonstrate at the Climate COP27 conference in Sharm-el-Sheikh. And you are aware that Egypt was attacked for refusing such people to enter their territory and demonstrate at the climate change conference. We are all aware what they did to Qatar. It's true that the best World Cup environment and arrangement, one of the best, is what we witnessed in Qatar. But the European Parliament are not interested in what you do as good. They went out to condemn. Yet people were celebrating the environment, but they condemned Qatar. But it is when those things happen that we should show solidarity. And when we keep quiet, we make them perpetuate the bad things that they do upon us. Africa should stand up and support Qatar. The Arab world should also stand up, united. And of course, we call upon the Arab world to make sure that they also become united. Some of the divisions are caused by imperialist tendencies. I want to remind the Arab Parliament that we do have, and when I say we, Pan-African Parliament, we do have a memorandum of understanding between the Arab Parliament and the Pan-African Parliament, which was signed in May 2013. Unfortunately, this has not been very alive. It's too much on the paper. And in that MOU, we undertook that the two institutions will cooperate in the capacity building of staff of the two institutions through exchange of experiences, receiving and training of staff, and also to coordinate and cooperate to organize and joint parliamentary activities, seminars, conferences, workshops, to contribute to the achievement of the objectives of the two institutions, and coordinate and cooperate on how best to support the Arabic language. Is one of the official languages in the Pan-African Parliament. I should say that the Arabic language is an official language in the Pan-African Parliament already. You are free to stay in our parliament and deliver your speech in Arabic. So that has been done. So what we need to do now is to implement the other aspects of that agreement. I want to move quickly to say the issue of the common issues like food security. You are aware that the African Union of which we are an organ of the African Union. The theme for 2022 was strengthening resilience in nutrition and food security on the African continent. So the theme for this conference speaks to our already existing initiative by Africa to ensure food security. Without lamenting this issue too far, I think we need also now, beyond this, Mr. President of the Arab Parliament, that let us, even through our committees as a parliament, let our committees also corroborate, sit and discuss issues. Arab Parliament Committee on Agriculture and Food, Arab Parliament Committee on the African Parliament. Let's sit and share how we tackle these issues of food security. But it's important to say there's no better continent now in the world that can provide food to the world than the African continent. Because we have too much land, good land, fertile, best climate, but for some reason the investments are still low. And we work together, including issues of terrorism. We are here, let's operate through our committees again. We, in fact, at the African Parliament, Mr. President, we are now developing a model law on food security as a parliament. We want to share that with all the countries as to how we can address issues of food security with others across the continent. Africa is 60% of all the land that is Arab, but for some reason we are not performing. But we should say beyond this, let's put into action what we have been saying, including that we have all the natural resources, all the minerals, all the land in Africa. But we are not doing much. We actually invite the Arab world to look to Africa also for investment. I think the time is now. Come to Africa, invest in agriculture, invest in the minerals, because currently, as you know, on the African continent, the mine minerals are run by countries, companies outside Africa, from the West. The major economic activities are run by companies from the West. Yes, here and there you get something from the Arab world having invested. Can we sit down as parliament and say if there are any impediments, if there are any stumbling blocks for the Arab world to invest in Africa, let's work on them. Let's remove them so that you are happy and you can invest. So going forward, as I conclude, Mr. President, going forward, let's look at how we can cooperate to closely build strong and resilient economies. And we should look at the Arab League to try and see how we can finance the agricultural sector and ensure food security and even economic development. The two sides should reflect deeply on the need for cooperation to ensure that there is sustainability also in the energy sector. Are you aware that the energy sector on the continent of Africa, we are in a situation of almost a crisis? And as I conclude again, I say, please let us cooperate in the areas of infrastructure, roads, all sidewalks, and the like. And there's need to find some innovative methods to finance the economies of both partners. All these measures should be done in the context of our well-defined roadmaps that include the Africa's Agenda 2063, and the African Continental Free Trade Area. The Arab Parliament and the African Parliament must act in unison in implementing roadmaps that can ensure that our regions achieve accelerated socio-economic development. And I conclude by saying, yes, we can talk, but there is a good saying by Benjamin Franklin which says, well done is better than well said. We've said what you've said. Please, can we do it? I thank you.